From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll run on first down. Drummond. He finds an opening past the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Chris Jones on the stop.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
From just shy of midfield, Murray, and taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Here's Murray. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Chris Jones in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. Throwing on 2nd and long. Murray going deep for Diggs. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Murray with a 3rd and long. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Let's go now. Go to base. 53. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Coleman. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing down. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. That's caught inside the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Coleman. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Just the outlaw. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on 1st down. Coleman gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Off play action. Coleman going to take a shot for Gallup. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Murray now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Murray now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Another try after the first down sack. Murray, his throw incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So drive 1, they had the field goal. Drive 2, touchdown. And now here on drive 3, looks like they're going to have to punt.
At least they were finally able to reverse the trend, because giving up the field goal, then the touchdown, it's almost like they finally got to the offensive side of the ball and said, okay, we've got the system to shut you down.
Now Callaway on the return. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Watch right. Watch right.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Coleman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
They wound up getting nothing out of that 2nd down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. From the gun, Coleman. Got an open man, it's Michael Gallup. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to record his 5th sack of the season. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get, because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Now Murray. Got some room at the 30. He's got the tight end, Sternberger. Finally taken down at the 32-yard line. 16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
And the Ravens
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, Murray. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. Murray now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. On 1st and 10, Murray. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. It's a gain of 34. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So after the loss of down, they'll come up here with a 2nd and goal. Second down, Murray sets to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game, as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes our score 17-0. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Back to throw. Coleman, and he's got room, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot down.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tariq Cohen, an 80-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make it 24-7. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence. This one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike 54. I got it. Hustle. Pick the edge. Come.
On 2nd down, here's Murray. Oh, what a catch there by Cooper. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Now throwing on first down and completing it. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the...
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Amari Cooper on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Ravens push further out in front. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
On second down now, it's Cohen. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Operating from the gun, Coleman. And he connects with Vance McDonald. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Murray going to throw. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Here we go, here we go, here we go, hey! Go! Mike 54, Mike 54.
Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. It got his man, complete. A big play there just before halftime. 54 yards.
A pickup on the play of 54 yards. First down, Ravens.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Gay's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line.
Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Drummond. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick. Right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Right, 22, jet, cover. 22, jet, cover. Kill.
On 1st down, Drummond. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 42-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Let's go, baby.
They'll keep it on the ground. Drummond. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Come on, set. 60 on. 58, come on.
Right here.
And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And down right around the 37. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go, D.
From the gun, Coleman. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
On first down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Second and 9 now from the 21. Out of the gun, here's Murray. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on first and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a second and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
They'll keep it on the ground. Drummond, and he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Lacey. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. They stay on the ground. This time it's Lacey. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first carry for their fullback. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
They'll run on first down. Drummond, and he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter play. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Let's see what you got. Kill. Rotate. Spell.
They'll keep it on the ground. Drummond. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Coleman under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jarrett Davis coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Off the toss, Cohen. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is third down and 12. Back to throw. Coleman. And that will be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year. We've seen
Lacey hit. He lost the football. It's out, and the Bengals grab it. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
No problem there on the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We know these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
1st down, a run with Cohen. And some room to run now. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. 1st down. It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Here we go. Kill.
They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 1. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Extra point attempt to follow here. And that'll cut the lead down to 26.
Makes the score Ravens 47. Bengals.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now is dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one.
Oh, now Murray has it stripped. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. On 1st down, Coleman. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 47. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.